Hello Saberland! So brand new stuff coming from Vader's Vault as we did last month, and as a lot of you have seen today, the official release of Crystal Focus 10 or CFX is upon us, and to commemorate that, Vader's Vault is really excited to release a brand new saber that takes advantage of many of the cool features that is now prominent on Crystal Focus 10. And here it is. This is the brand new Vader's Vault Sovereign Lightsaber. So our most popular, or one of our most popular hilts in the family has been the Ardent design, and since its release in 2015, we get a lot of requests for other thin neck designs, and we've wanted to do one. So here, with this new design, we bring in a brand new thin neck profile. With the Ardent, harken back to a lot of original trilogy design cues. This one, while it does bring in some of that, is really geared more towards the old Republic era in its format and design. We've got a lot of brass. We've got a lot of, we've got some detailed piping. We've got a really large bell emitter. Some exaggerated cubes at the back and grip section. Just a lot of detail going on of the hilt. And what you see here in front of you here is the standard version. So this is the standard Sovereign machine finish. You still get the brass and copper piping details in the neck. You get the solid brass dovetailed control box here, and that really showcases another new feature. It is a combat class design without an anti-vandal switch. I know some people out there really love anti-vandals. We love them. They're very reliable, but they don't work for every design. So we went with a different direction here. We went with a very low-profile, solid brass control box that's dovetailed into the hilt, so you don't see any visible screws or anything like that. Very smooth finish, and that control box houses two tactile switches, so nice clicky switches with the aluminum switch hats here to actuate them for your auxiliary and your main switches. And continuing with the brass, we have another new feature on the side. Some of our hilts, we've started incorporating areas that are more conducive to accent LEDs or other blinkies. It's no different here, except for now that we have CFX, which is glorious, we get the ability to not only have a larger segment bar graph, which will be available on this hilt, but this hilt was designed really to showcase one of the great new features. That's the ability to drive an OLED screen, or OLED screen for those of you, a very detailed small pixel screen to display some animations, information, diagnostics, font information, all sorts of stuff can be displayed on the screen, with more coming with future updates. So we'll get into that in a little bit as well. The screen is not your only option. So right here you see the brass plate that is for the screen. We also have one that's made for the bar graph, which has a smaller slot. And then we have a cover plate that's blank with some etching on it that will be for those who choose not to go with either LEDs or an OLED screen, in case you don't like fun. But if you do like fun, the OLED screen is awesome. So we'll show you a little bit about that in a minute. Continuing on down the hilt, we've got some detail milling on the hilt with some larger rings at the back to provide that rear hand grip. Some cubes here that are not part of the pommel, they're actually part of the grip. The pommel itself here is very low profile, and it was made to be, sort of unobtrusive, but also be a bit available to use as an old D-ring style. So it really gives that old Republic style. As you can see on the Elite version back here, we have the D-ring at the back. So for those of you who choose the D-ring option, it will be mounted on the pommel stud there. Alright, so let's get it powered on, and I want to show you guys the screen first of all, because that is one of the main features of this new hilt. Alright, so you can press the aux button when it's in idle mode and not yet in deep sleep, and you will see it. This is your power level indicator that's on here, so that will show you what level the battery is at. As you can see, we're at about 7/8 kind of power level there. You can tap the aux button to do other different animations, but if you let it sit, it will go into different screensavers that will do different animations while it waits for you to decide what you're going to do. But we can get it back to the power level indicator. We can go and now it tells you what font you're on. We're on Vengeance right now. And then there's some information about the soundboard itself. We've got a rotating crystal animation, some sort of sequencers that we've got here, a digital countdown sequencer, and then we've got some other cool animations that you can have it sit and display. And all those parameters on, you know, how long it will display before it goes into sleep mode or before it goes into the screensavers is all adjustable. You will also be able to design your own art to use for the screensavers and whatnot, and all that will be forthcoming in different videos and manuals and online tutorials and whatnot. But you will be able to do your own thing with the animations. Very cool. So one other thing you'll notice about this OLED screen is it has the white pixels. Currently we have two different color options that you will see. The Elite version has the blue OLED version, so you'll be able to choose between the white screen or the blue screen in either version, either the standard or the Elite. So you can see the difference between the two. Basically this is just has white pixels and that's it. The other one has sort of a light blue. So just different shading for different purposes, I guess, or different looks depending on what you're after. Moving up here, we've got some detail piping in the neck. We really wanted to give it that Old Republic feel, and if you play any of the Old Republic games, especially Star Wars The Old Republic, the MMO, you will see a lot of saber designs and little blaster designs and ship designs that have a lot of exposed piping, sort of very steampunk, which is really cool because it gives you that idea of they needed more to conduct the power necessary to run some of these weapons and vehicles and whatnot. And I really dig that. We've always really liked Old Republic design cues, and we love all the guys at the development team at BioWare for creating that game and that whole world set to play in. So any chance I get to design something to pay homage to that, I will do so. And this saber, the Sovereign, does that in spades, I believe. So why don't we switch over to the Elite version and talk a little bit about the differences between the Elite version and the standard version. So on the Elite version, just like on other Elite versions we've done, we do a full mirror polish of every detail. So even the piping or the grate cover here for the OLED screen or bar graph, depending on which way you go. Everything is polished, and of course you get to choose your accent color. So on this particular one we've done gold, and the gold will be up here in the emitter area around the venting, in the neck, and then also here in the pommel stud area, right between the ring and the actual cubes of the hilt. So those areas will be whatever accent color you pick, and then we have black in the ringed area, black in the milled area here on the grip, and then also black in these deep milled features here on the other side of the control box. So everything's been polished, the control box, the switch hats, all the piping, the neck, the emitter, everything. And just like you've come to expect from Vader's Vault for quality, every edge has been knocked down, so there's no hard or wire edges. Even on the standard machine version, everything has a chamfer. Even the venting around the windows has a chamfer. There's chamfers on this, so it's not a wire edge. We take the time to actually go through and make sure we do that to all of our products, so you don't get anything rough or sharp that's going to cut you just by looking at it wrong. And on the polished version, of course, that takes it to that next level of finish and softening. And just like with our other polished Elite sabers, you will get a polishing cloth, microfiber cloth, to keep the fingerprints away, which, you know, I've been touching it, so this one has got a little fingerprints on it. I'm going to polish it a little bit there. All right, so let's put a blade in it and go over some of the cool new features, again, of Crystal Focus X. If you have not seen it in our videos before, the Crystal Focus X, oh, also, this is the blue OLED screen. Like I said, it's a nice pale blue color. Nice contrast to the white that we had before. Just a slightly different look to it. Just depends on what you're going for the look of your saber. Alright, so let's put a blade in. Alright, so Neopixel, of course, in this one. You don't have to choose Neopixel, but it is the coolest option out there for custom sabers, so definitely want to pick it. Alright, so just like we displayed in our other video, the different spectrum wheels, we have both the color profile spectrum wheel and the blade profile spectrum wheel that you can access real time to select not only your blade color, but also how your blade behaves. Spectrum. So you'll press both buttons, you'll hear the spectrum announcement, and then that gives you the ability to tilt it through the color wheel. Alright, and when you get to the color you want, you can either tap it to select that color or hold it and go into the blade profiles. And that gives you the ability to launch into the different ways the blade will behave. So you can either choose like the rainbow blade, an unstable style blade, sort of a different blank unstable, and then we've got a fire effect. Now you'll notice it looks kind of odd with the pink and the white. That's because I have a red profile selected with a white flash on flash. But if I want the orange fire, I can press and hold and go back to the color profiles until I can get to the actual flame color. And you can tap to exit out and save that selection, which the board will remember until you change it, or you can keep going back and forth to your heart's content and select. Now, if we can zoom in here, you can also see that it tells you what color profile and what blade profile you're on. So the reset here on the spectrum. The spectrum actually has a number that adjusts with you depending on what color you're on. Makes it handy for editing later. And you can select blade profiles, and it goes into blade profiles, and it also will display the number that we're on. So we got rainbow blade there on that one. So all of this is editable and adjustable by the user, either with the USB cord or the Bluetooth option that we offer, and using the RICE program that you can get directly from Plecter Labs, which will have other variants and mobile versions coming in the not too distant future. And also the SWTOR ForceSync app is working on updating for Crystal Focus for their app, but their app also works for previous versions of Plecter boards. So there is a lot of features to cover with the new Crystal Focus release. And obviously we can't do it all in one video or it'd be hours long. So we're going to start breaking up different features and how to access them, what the different parameters mean in different videos in the coming future that we will go over with you guys, and make sure that this feature-rich board is explained as in much detail as we possibly can. So just like I showed you with the color profiles and blade profiles on the screen, the font selection is also displayed. Sound bank selection. Light. Vengeance. So it will actually scroll through. Vengeance. You can go forward and backwards, and a little picture and an icon along with the text of what font you're on will display on the screen, which is very cool. Of course, different animations, just showing you the different ones in the blue format like we showed you in the white format. Of course, we're on a flame blade, but we're on a purple blade, so we'll go back into spectrum. Spectrum. Blade profiles. Spectrum. Blade profiles. All right. So the other thing that we haven't really talked about is the smooth swing. Smooth swing is obviously one of the most sought after features lately in the lightsaber sound experience. And we've got 3 different versions of it on the Plecter boards. The version that we've chosen to go with is the hybrid version, which combines the base smooth swing algorithm with the accent swings, which when you go over a certain velocity threshold give you a normal swing mixed in, so that it gives you that real dynamic range for swings, so it's not a monotone experience. And that is, of course, needs to have, whatever font you choose needs to have those accent swings in it. The smooth swing fonts that we will be including on the sabers that you purchase will have accent swings added to them. We are working on updating all of our model-specific fonts that we have for our other sabers to have the smooth swing fonts. The Sovereign font is still in production. We will probably do another video demoing it when it is ready, but we're having a nice smooth swing version of that font, specially made for this saber, not too distant future, hopefully, and then we'll be able to show you guys that font pretty soon. So speaking of fonts, I wanted to go over with you, since the official release of CFX was today. There is 12 fonts on the default CFX package. Some of those fonts are legacy fonts. Some of those fonts are updated to smoothswing, like some of the ones from Mad Cow, but they are from a variety of different font makers. At Vader's Vault, we're actually including an additional 4 fonts. So we always give, in addition to the default package, a model-specific font. So that hasn't changed. We will give a model-specific font on every saber purchased at Vader's Vault. And like I said before, we are updating those for smoothswing compatibility. And the Sovereign font is still in development. Model-specific fonts, like I said, those are in development and being updated for smoothswing. So saber's shipping right away, right at the drop. They will not include the updated fonts, but we'll be announcing ways to contact us and get the updated fonts at such a time that they are available. In addition to that, we are pleased, honored, and excited to be able to put 3 really awesome smoothswing fonts by KSith, one of the great font makers on saberfont.com. We're going to put his Light, Balance, and Vengeance fonts on every saber to go out the door, and we're really happy and honored by that deal, and thanks to KSith for working with us. They're really great fonts. We love having them on the saber. It really enhances the total experience. So look for those there, and look for some more awesome smoothswing compatible fonts that are going to be coming from our great font makers at saberfont.com. Speaking of the fonts and how you can go back and forth through them and all the different vocal menus that you have that help the user navigate the variety of complex features that are now available on soundboards. Plecter Labs continues to amaze with the sound quality of everything. I mean, it is, for the last decade plus, Plecter Labs has dominated in audio quality and crispness and the warmth of the sounds itself, and that has not stopped here with CFX. It's only gotten better, and we're proud to be able to put it in our products, and we are really excited to be able to launch in tandem with the Plecter Labs official Crystal Focus 10 release a brand new saber. So this is the Sovereign and Sovereign Elite from Vader's Vault. Look for it in the store and enjoy your sabers.